On The Biggest Loser, contestants jump into the deep end of weight loss by exercising for hours and eating like rabbits. And it works until the show is over. After that crash diet, losers universally end up yo-yoing back to their original weight. After winning the fight against fat with cardio and calorie counting, they lost the hidden fight against their hormones. These hormones fought back by destroying their metabolism, zapping their energy, and really shutting down the amount of energy burned at rest. And they all gained their weight back. Instead of fighting your fat problem with willpower or a coach, you should use chemistry. Be smart. This manipulating hormone that controls your fat cells is called insulin. If you're overweight, you have a problem, and your problem is called insulin. Yeah, this hormone called insulin is pretty tricky. It's smarter than you and me. So if you're gonna win, you need to follow the rules of how to wrestle that hormone back into your control. Here's the cliff notes that I wrote after helping thousands of patients wrangle their insulin back into control. It starts with step 1, which is a place you're probably at, eating every 2 to 4 hours. And it's okay. I just need you to check something. Do you eat more than 200 carbohydrates per day? I call that the 200 club. If you are in the 200 club, you need to go slow. Because step 1 involves less than 20 total carbohydrates per day. And I don't want you to guess on this. I need you to measure. Measure how many carbohydrates you're consuming in a day. Use an app. There's plenty of them out there. And I need you to measure your ketones because we are going to depend on your chemistry. This crash change in your chemistry results in peeing ketones every time you urinate. And I need you to check because it makes a difference on whether or not you're going to succeed. Yeah, step 2 is usually weirding patients out. I'm telling them to eat a bunch of fat because it's those fat belt hormones that were a dismal part of the equation in The Biggest Loser. And when you counted calories and exercised like crazy while eating low fat, insulin won. And these fat-based hormones are nearly in the grave. I need you to resurrect them. And that means you must be eating high fat while we restore your metabolism, your hormone. And then it's pretty magical. This is where the chemistry really does carry you. It changes how they feel. And I check their chemistry without a lab test. I wait for this magical thing to happen. Oh, I don't want you to read that. Because as they become keto adapted or fat adapted, one thing happens. Yeah, you read it. They accidentally miss a meal. That accidental miss in a meal is my guarantee that those fat-based hormones are now out of the ditch and they are part of their circulation. They are helping their metabolism. And now we are on the right path for a successful long-term weight loss. Because as they're eating all this fat, that part that sounded crazy on the first couple of steps, what it's really doing is it is the resource that's needed to make those fat belt hormones. And before, insulin was trapping it in their fat cells. They couldn't get to it. So the only access they had to start making those hormones again was to eat fat while making their insulin go lower, which is why there are less than 20 total carbohydrates per day. It is a critical step in launching to a lifetime of improved health. Sadly, if insulin's been high for a really long time, it can take up to 10 weeks before they really feel good on the ketogenic diet. They really feel those fat-based hormones winning against their dictator of insulin. This next step, yes, requires discipline. I need you to eat 2 meals per day. It is not something that the chemistry will do for you. This is where you might need a coach. This is where you might need a really good friend. The chemistry is not going to do this for you, but this is where that sustainable process gets even better. Once you've stuck the landing of number 4, I need you to hold it. Since you're no longer sabotaging your metabolism, you've got those fat-based, those fat-built hormones on your side, I need you to hold the course because there are several other things happening in your world. You're learning how to say no when other people are eating. You're learning how to stop eating when you used to munch during a time of stress. And when you eat only twice per day, this habit takes time for you to reset it in your mind as normal, but it is critical for the long-term success of your weight loss. Weight loss will not continue forever when you're eating 2 meals per day. After that initial change, your body gets used to this pattern of eating. That's why I created this roadmap. This roadmap marks out, where do you go next? What is the next challenge? So we stop you at 2 meals per day so that you get used to this, because if you reach for one of these higher levels of metabolisms and then you fail, we want you to land back at 2 meals per day, because it's a pretty good place to relaunch from. When you start doing keto, it's information overload. You didn't add cream to your coffee, you didn't eat enough fat, you got the keto flu because you didn't have salt and know what magnesium is. Your blood pressure changed, your poop changed, you didn't have a support system. I don't have time to teach you everything you need to know in this video. If you go watch the hundreds of videos I have on YouTube, you will be an expert in the ketogenic diet. If you want to learn everything you need to know in order, in one place, get my online course. It comes with a support group. It is my most powerful teaching tool. Click here, I'll teach you.